Welcome back, Billionaire Book Club. Welcome, everybody. So today we are doing the review on the chapter of effects of health of thoughts on health and body. So basically, how our thoughts affect our health and our body. So James Allen says that the body is the servant of the mind. The body obeys the operations of the mind, whether they are deliberately chosen or automatically expressed. Okay. Um, Thoughts of fear have been known to kill a man as speedily as a bullet, and they are continually killing thousands of people just as surely, though less rapidly. So it says the people who live in fear of disease are the people who get it. Isn't that something? Hmm? It says anxiety quickly demoralizes the whole body and lays it open to the entrance of disease, while impure thoughts, even if not physically indulged, will soon shatter the nervous system. But if you have strong, pure, and happy thoughts, built up in your body, you will have vigor and you will have grace. And James Allen continues to say that if you just change your diet without changing your thoughts, it's a waste of time. You have to do both. If you want to change your diet, if you want to change how your body looks or feels, you not only have to change your diet, but you also have to change the way that you think. Okay. And there's somebody that I really, really like that's called Esther Hicks. She has really, really good videos on YouTube that talks about, how loving yourself, loving your body, loving life, because once you get into that love mode, everything changes. So he says that if you would want a perfect body, you have to guard your mind. And if you want to renew your body, you have to beautify your mind. Okay. And that's why sometimes we see people that are old, maybe they're in their 80s, 90s, and they're so radiant, they're so beautiful, their complexion is so good that you're like, what's the secret? They have figured out, that joy, happiness, being in that place of love, that place of appreciation, the place of gratitude. That's where it's at, that's where, because everything starts in the mind. And so James Allen says that there is no physician like cheerful thoughts for dissipating the ills of the body. There is no comforter to compare with goodwill for dispersing the shadows of grief and sorrow. So basically, what it's saying is that, if you want to dissipate any ill in your body, if you're sick, if you have an ailment in your body, start thinking good thoughts, being cheerful, and that's why, like, for those that read the Bible, it talks about, joy is a huge part of the Bible, because that's where our healing comes from. Okay. uh, and so, guys, that was a really short chapter, and I think I'll go ahead and do the chapter on thought and purpose, because it's also really short. And it talks about, until you link your thoughts with your purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. Okay. He says, with the majority, the bark of thought is allowed to drift upon the ocean of life. So if you have aimlessness in your life, it's a vice. We have to have vision. We have to have something that we are gearing towards, have goals that we are going thinking about, plans for tomorrow, because aimless brother excuse me, guys, English is my third language. Yeah, we cannot live our lives aimlessly. Like, we have to have a purpose, we have to have goals for our lives. Okay. And he continues to say, they who have no central purpose in their life fall easy prey to the petty worries, the fears, the troubles, and self-pityings, all of which are indications of weakness. Okay. So we don't want to be weak, because remember, we have been created to be strong, right? So, and this also leads to deliberately planned sins, even though they are through a different route, right? It's like unconsciously, but it leads to failure, it leads to unhappiness, and it leads to loss, because weakness cannot persist in a power evolving universe, which is you. So if you're that person that has goals, you're not gonna be worried about, small things, small worries, small troubles, because you have focus. Okay. So he says a man should conceive of a legitimate purpose in his heart and set out to accomplish it. Okay. And you should make your purpose the central point of your thoughts. What is your purpose? What are you trying to accomplish in your life? If you have purpose, you're not going to be worried about the small things of life. Okay. And this can take any form. It can be a spiritual ideal, it can be a worldly project. Some of you just want to build a house. Keep focus, keep your goals ahead of you, and you will not be worried about everything that's happening in your life. And James Allen continues to say that, the road to self-control, is purpose, focus. You should make it your purpose, make it your supreme duty. Devote yourself to attaining whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, and not allow your thoughts to wander away, with ephemeral fancies, longings, and imaginings, okay? Because that's the road to self-control and true concentration of thought. Okay. And he says, even if you fail again and again to accomplish your purpose, you know, he said, even if he fails again and again to accomplish his purpose, as he necessarily must until weakness is overcome. So guys, you will fail in whatever you're doing. You may fail again and again. It's a must for us to fail. You have to experience both sides of the spectrum. You cannot always just be winning, winning, winning. It's just like we cannot always just be eating sweets. That's not good for us. We have to have a mix of the sweet, the sour, and the bitter. And that's the same thing with life. And so we cannot go into life just expecting everything to just be one way. No, we have to have a mix of everything. We have to have contrast in the things that we do. And so he continues to say that those who are not prepared for the apprehension of a great purpose should fix the thoughts upon the faultless performance of their duty, no matter how insignificant their task may appear. And because it's only in this way that your thoughts can be gathered and focused, and resolution and energy can be developed, which being done, there's nothing which may not be accomplished. Okay, so he says, the weakest soul, knowing its own weakness and believing this truth, that strength can only be developed by effort and practice, will thus believing at once begin to exert itself, and adding effort to effort, patience to patience, and strength to strength, you will never cease to develop, and you will at last grow divinely strong. Because I was even telling my children this yesterday. We look at this, for instance, the basketball players. We see them on TV. We're like, oh my gosh, LeBron James is so good. Oh my gosh, Kobe Bryant was so good. But it took what? Practice, practice, patience, patience. Them living in the gym every single day. So even with us, whatever we want to accomplish in our lives, we have to know that it will take effort, and it will take lots and lots of practice. Okay. And he continues to tell, we have to put away aimlessness and weakness, and to begin to think with purpose. Okay. Because that is how we will enter into the ranks of the strong ones, like the Davids in the Bible. Okay. You put away weakness. David was so small in the Bible. He was tiny, but he went up against who? Goliath. Because he said, you know what, I'm putting away the weaknesses, I'm putting away aimlessness. My goal is to conquer this giant. And he went forth and he entered into the ranks of the strong ones. And because he realized that failure is only a pathway to attainment, right? And he made sure that every condition that he was in, it served him. Okay, so let's continue to think strongly, attempt everything fearlessly, and accomplish everything masterfully. Okay. Yeah, so James Allen continues to say, doubts and fears should be rigorously excluded from our lives, because they are disintegrating elements which break up the straight line of effort. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine you're going on a straight line? Imagine water flowing in a straight path, and then it meets a rock. What does it do? It has to go around that rock. Water doesn't stop. Imagine if we were like water, if we could just think of ourselves like water. When we hit a bump in our path, we're like, I'll figure out a way to get around it, because I'm going to accomplish my goal. I'm going to get to my destination. Wow. If we can just put away doubts and fears that break up the straight line of our effort, we will render it crooked, ineffectual, and useless. Thoughts of doubt and fear never accomplish anything, and never can. They always lead to failure. Oh my gosh. But purpose, energy, and the power to do And all strong thoughts cease when doubt and fear creep in, right? Yeah, because when you have purpose, when you have energy and the power to do something, and then all of a sudden you start allowing doubt and fear to creep in, it stops you in your tracks, you know? But the will to do springs from the knowledge that we can do it. But doubt and fear are the great enemies of knowledge, and he who encourages them, who does not slay them, oh my God, thwarts himself at every step. So, guys, for me, this is just really, I'm preaching to the choir, preaching to myself, because I know every once in a while, there's some doubt, there's some fear that creeps into our lives, but we have to conquer it. We have to conquer it because he tells us, he who has conquered doubt and fear has conquered failure. Okay? His every thought is allied with power, and all difficulties are bravely met and wisely overcome. Your purposes are seasonably planted, and they will bloom and bring forth fruit which does not fall prematurely to the ground. So, guys, James Silent said, thought allied fearlessly to purpose becomes creative force. So, thought and purpose becomes what? Creative force. So, yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of the review on that chapter on thought and purpose. Next, we'll do the review on the thought factor in achievement, and then we'll have one more to do, and that will be it. So thank you, Billionaire Book Club, for joining me. I know I believe in you guys. I know you guys are billionaires. Okay, keep reading, keep believing, keep strengthening your mind by reading powerful books. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. God bless you all.